Hello, welcome back to another episode of Amberfield Mouse Jewelry. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. If you see in front of me, I have a collection of vintage clip-on earrings. And I thought I'd go through them with you, give you a couple of tips on how to evaluate them, how to clean them, how to know whether it's worth cleaning them or not, and some other things that I do when I come across vintage earrings. That may not be, I don't know, nice enough to sell, but maybe something else we can do with them. So I hope you enjoy this video. I'd like to invite you to like and subscribe. I'm cleaning. There's epoxy resin all over everything because I'm a mess. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you've not done so, and welcome if this is your first time. Thank you so much for joining me. I know there are 100 jewelry channels out there, and I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time. I hope you find the video enjoyable and informative. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you give me a like, that's a big help to me too. And let me go ahead and just tilt the camera down so that we can have some, look at the pieces close up, and we'll go on from here. Before I do that, I just want to show you the Creeworks in the back. That is my ultrasonic cleaner. It is kind of an upgraded one. I started out with a small one and bought the larger one because I do use my ultrasonic cleaner a lot. It's a really great tool. That one's available on Amazon. I don't have an affiliate link in there because I don't know, don't do that. But anyway, you can find this and other ultrasonic cleaners on Amazon. This one is great. It does heat up the water if you should so choose to do so. That is very helpful from time to time. Sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes the temperature will melt things that, are in there. Say you have a coated pearl or something, and it will definitely help take that coating off the pearl. What I typically use in there as a solution is just basically distilled water with a little drop or two of Dawn soap, dishwashing liquid. That makes a very mild solvent. Of course, the mildest solvent you could use would be water, but sometimes we need just an extra little bit. So I do put a little dab of Dawn in there because it helps lift out any sort of hairspray or, oils from your body or things like that. It just helps clean it up a little bit. So give me a second. I'm going to reset, and we'll take a look at some of these pieces and evaluate them. All right, so I have the camera pointed down so that we can look at these pieces together. I seem to have picked up some mica powder from somewhere. Frightening part is I don't know from where, so I hope I don't have a big container of mica powder spilled somewhere, because that would be a nightmare. Anyway, so let's start out with a couple of these pieces here. I have some beautiful, beautiful thermoset earrings here. Oh, and I'm hitting my camera already. These are just stunning. Look at that. Look at the light hit those thermoset. How pretty. My hands are filthy. I apologize for that. And these are in fantastic shape. These are all good to go. So with these, what I would do before I offer them, or I would probably offer them and then do this before you get them. I would give these a wipe down, probably on the connection points where you would wear them, with some alcohol, just so that we're killing anything that, I know it's not the most pleasant topic that there is, but, if somebody else has worn these, there's skin transfer there, so we want to make sure everything is clean. Are those not gorgeous? Wow. Look at the light hit those. These are just beautiful thermoset earrings. Absolutely stunning. They are screwbacks. I don't know if there's anything. I don't believe anything is on here. And these are all good to go. So, again, what I'll do, I don't know how they actually got in this pile, but since they're here, if anybody is interested in these are beautiful. These are probably, I would say, from the 50s. If you're interested in, look at that. Oh my God, they're so pretty. Won't those look gorgeous with like a pink Angora sweater? Oof, beauty. I'm going to say 12 for these. They're beautiful. They're in fantastic condition too. Look at that color. Oh, love it, love it, love it. All right, well, let's get on to something that, that's more about the topic at hand instead of perfectly good earrings that don't need anything. All right, these I believe are probably a Coro. They are unmarked, and they're a mess. they're an absolute mess. Somebody has attempted to repair these. You can see the glue there. And the metal in the back is just, that's just too far gone for anything to offer. You can see the glue in here. So, but there is something valuable to this earring, those little thermoset pieces. Because if you have a piece of jewelry, oftentimes these sets, you know, well, these pieces came in sets, is what I meant to say. So you'd get the earrings, a probable necklace, and a bracelet. And there will be many times that you'll get something, you know, of one of these sets that's missing one of these pieces. Not an easy thing to find. So what I always do is I always scavenge these and keep them in my box of tricks there, so that if I do need these, I have them. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. And what it's going to do, because I have it up to 50 degrees, and that is in Celsius. So I'm going to put it in there. It's going to melt that glue, and these pieces are going to come free. And I'll be able to take them, put them in a little baggie, and then I'll have them if I should ever run across a piece that's similar that I need. So that one is going in the cleaner. All right, what up next? All right, next we have these. These somebody attempted to repair. You can see that heinous glue in there. And God bless for, you know, somebody for trying to keep their piece so that they can wear it. I'm certainly not going to disparage anybody for giving it a go. But if you're repairing things, you really have to keep in mind what kind of glue is appropriate to use. And, you know, you may not be able to see it when you have overlap of glue. Like, see this here? That may not be something that's apparent when the glue is fresh and new, but once time has gone by, that glue will yellow, and it is no longer anything that, you know, you want to wear. So what I'm going to do with these, and this one is completely broken. The only thing that I can think that might be of use on here is perhaps those crystals, and you can see how those are just firmly set in that glue. Somebody just went to town on that. Is perhaps the backs, because they're not in bad shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to throw this piece into the ultrasonic cleaner. It'll be a good demonstration for you why not to throw coated pearls in an ultrasonic cleaner, by the way. So I'll put those in as well. Let me scooch those over in. And let's see what else we have here. All right, so up next we have the silver tone pair. And this is a beautiful piece. Clip back. Everything is in good shape. These just need a cleaning. And this pair is something that I would put in the cleaner without worrying about it, because you know, they're silver tone. These are very sturdy metal. I don't have any worries that they would come, you know, any injury would come to these by putting them in the cleaner. So they're going in as well. And let's see what else we have. Something that, you know, well, let me get rid of all the things that I'm going to pop in the cleaner, first of all. This pair. What I do when I get these vintage pieces is I look at them and evaluate, first of all, how collectible they are. Would anybody want these pieces? And then I look at the condition of them, and I evaluate how much time it would be to clean and or restore them, and see if it's worth my time. This pair is completely shot. I love the little filigree cups on here. And if this can go down to the base metal, which I'm not really sure, I think these were coated in a gold tone, and these may be usable by somebody for, you know, making earrings. If you'll notice, these pieces are not what was originally here, because these were wired, and somebody has attempted to fill the holes with something. Again, good on you for trying. Not the best thing to do, as you can see. And there's a verdigris, just unbelievable amount of verdigris on there. So these I'm going to chuck in the cleaner, see what comes out, and we may actually need to give them a trip through some vinegar, and they may actually just be garbage. We'll see. We will see. So those are going up on in. Alrighty. What is up next? Let's take a look at these. These are quite stunning. The only thing on these is there's a little bit of speckling on these beads, and I'm not sure if that is something that came on the bead, or if perhaps it's, you know, something that just landed on there later. And please excuse the state of my fingers. I'm just realizing how disgusting they are, especially when you have them magnified. So a piece like this, believe it or not, what I will do is I will take this is just a little bit of that distilled water and Dawn. I'm going to dunk them in the water just real quick. And then I'm going to take a very gentle paintbrush, and I'm just going to, this is a sable hair brush. You see how pliable those are? I'm not going to use a toothbrush or anything of the nature because that could be abrasive. And I'm just going to give them a little dance over those. Just give them a little wipe, a little scrub. Now, mind you, I have messed up many a piece. So when I give you these tips and tricks, sometimes it goes sideways on me. And by me doing this, maybe it's a good way for you to see. You know, I can be an example to you of what not to do. But I'm relatively confident that this is going to come out just fine. The coating on these pearls is, you know, is very good. It doesn't look like it was compromised at all. So I'm just going through here, and I'm giving everything just a little gentle rub down with this brush. It's kind of like mopping your floor. We're just giving them a little mop. And this leads me to believe that these, I'm sorry, I'm hitting my phone again, that speckling is intentional. And that is on those beads. That's nothing that is coming off. So we've kind of dusted these off. Let's take a look at the back. And the back needs a good cleaning. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it another dunk and that. And then I'm going to grab a paper towel, and I'm just going to rub that. And we may need to get a little bit, go in there with something on the metal. Yeah, we are going to have to go on that metal because you can see that it needs a bit more cleaning than that. So what I want to do first, I want to dry these with a paper towel. And if you'll notice, these are set on there, they're wired on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, actually that's, looks like nylon. I'm going to grab a can of electronics duster, and I hope this noise isn't going to be too much, but I'm going to go through and hit all of those with the canned air so that I get all of that moisture out of the center. Let me dab it off again, and I'm just going to hit it again. And this is a way that you can ensure that you're not going to rust any piece out. You want to get all of that out of there. Okay, and look how pretty that is. So with the back part, there are a couple of things we could do. We could, you know, get maybe a little bit stronger Dawn solution, but I find it very easy. And I'm going to just reach over here and grab one. To grab a Clorox wipe. I love Clorox wipes. I couldn't live without them at this point. First time I saw them, I thought they're the most wasteful thing. I'm like, get yourself a spray bottle and some paper towels or a cloth and save a landfill. But they just have something magical about them. And let me give you a tip about the Clorox wipe. If you ever put anything with a red sauce in a plastic container in your refrigerator, you know how it will ruin the container? It'll stain it orange. If you take just put the container under the water, rinse out the big parts on there, then take the Clorox wipe and wipe the inside of the container. It will take that orange right out, and you won't have a stained container. I swear to God, it's a miracle. It won't take off old stains, but it will certainly, keep you from ruining any new containers. So, a little tip from me to you. And this earring is in fantastic condition. We have cleaned the contact points because you always want to make sure you do, when you're reselling, or even if you buy something yourself that's used. When I buy something from a seller, I always clean it again just because I'm kooky crazy like that. When you buy from me, I do make sure everything is nice and clean and sanitized for you. Beautiful little pair of earrings. I will clean this one as well. I bunked the camera. I'm up close here. So if anybody would like this pair, how about we say, I don't see any markings on it, how about we say 5 for these? Aren't they sweet? A little happy. They match a lot of stuff. They've got the little faux pearls. These are all acrylic, but they do look like they're natural stones. That would be a really pretty earring to wear. So there are those. All right, what do we have up next? Let's find something that requires a similar cleaning since we're on that. But I don't think I see anything of the nature. How about that? All right, let's look at these. There's nothing that I dislike more than flesh-colored earrings or flesh-colored anything. I think these are hideous. They're taupe. I'm apologies if you like them. I'm just not a fan. For that reason, I would not spend any time on this. Look at, you can see that big plastic. I believe they call these, excuse the term, but I believe they call them nipples when they do injection molding, and there's like a little piece still sticking out. You can see the metal on here is just not in good shape. So this pair, I would look at, I would evaluate, and I would say these are not worth the time, and I would throw these in craft, because somebody may be able to use these screw backs and make something lovely out of them, something lovelier than weird flesh-colored taupe. So that's what I'm doing with those. Alrighty, what up next? Oop, I just dropped one. I have to go fish that out here. This is gorgeous. Look at this beautiful thing, and I believe this is a Monet. What do we have here? Does it say Monet? I gotta get my glasses out. Excuse me a second, folks. You would think I would be able to see it through the camera, because I'm sure it's clear as a bell for you. Yeah, these are Monet. You can see it right there. All right, so this pair, we have little rhinestones in there, which are, I don't believe they're truly prong set. I believe that's an illusion. And let's look at the back and see if they're open or not. That's always a good, oh, these are open in the back. So these are not foil backed. So these could be submerged without problem. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them the old Dunkaroo. And then I'm going to grab another brush. This one has a little bit, this one is a scrubber brush, and I use this for oil painting. Not this particular one, because I wouldn't, use the same brush on oil paints as I would on jewelry. You never know what's left. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this. I'm going to give the tops of these stones a little wash. They looked almost to me like they had a weird coating on them, like hairspray or something, and that's the reason I'm going to this brush. And yeah, I am seeing some sort of strange coating. So it looks like somebody had used these, and I keep hitting hitting with my paintbrush. I am so sorry. Hope no one's getting motion sickness. Gonna give a little easy rub to the top of those. And then I'm gonna go to the underside, of course, and give those a good cleaning. Let me get a little drop of that water and put on the back of these. We want to give a good clean there on the contact points, because we want fresh, clean, free earrings here. I'm giving those a good scrub. We're going to wash the back. Might as well use our little mop on a stick here. Everything a good cleaning. Scrub that up. Now, you never want to do this with anything that has a foil back on the rhinestones, because you're going to get moisture in there and it may possibly lift up that foil back. And then, of course, you're going to have a dead stone, which is not the best thing to do. Can sometimes be pretty if they all turn gray, but, not ultimately what we're looking for here. So, okay, I've given those all a good wipe. Oh, that's not what I wanted to use. Not that it hurt it, but okay. Wipe everything down here. Oh, and that is shining so nice. And now what I'm going to do to get in behind there, because you can see all that moisture. First, I'm going to grab, I have these little, it's like a small Q-tip it's like a toothpick with a little bit of cotton wrapped around the tip. I love these. I get these on Amazon and I use them all the time, because it's a firmer Q-tip and you don't have all of that, cotton to deal with when you need something that's pretty pinpoint precise. You can get inside with these and they work great. And this is going to help if there's any additional dirt or residue in there. It's going to help me wipe that out. And you can see in the back there that did take out some more additional material that needed cleaning. All right, these are so pretty. Look how pretty those are, like a moonstone. All right, and now what I'm going to do, just for good measure, is I'm going to give this a hit with the canned air. to make sure that there's nothing in there that's, you know, going to continue to activate any adhesive or anything like that, because we don't want that to come undone. One thing that I like about, you know, either submerging things, and I only submerge things that I know that should be able to, you know, be okay in that scenario, and not anything that I would do on a regular basis, just if they're, you know, if they're in need of cleaning, you know, a really good cleaning, like, you know, something that's come out of a Goodwill bag that's in bad shape. Look how precious that is, though. Let me move a little bit of this stuff out of the way so that you can actually see the earring instead of all of the things in the back. That is beautiful. It's like a dusty purple. And then we have all those beautiful rhinestones in there. And there is a little bit of tarnish as well, and I want to hit that real quick with my polishing cloth, if I can recall where it is. Oh, here it is. Okay. I did get out a new one because they get so nasty. So nasty. Okay. Yeah. Get that all shined up. This is actually a good example of something that I want to mention as well. When it comes to sterling silver, there are a lot of times that people don't want that, you know, the aged look, the tarnish taken off there. There is a big difference between removing the tarnish and cleaning the piece. You can clean a piece without taking that tarnish off. And I would highly advise that you do clean your jewelry. If you don't take any sort of silver solvent or any sort of, you know, silver cleaning cloth like this to it, you can clean it in a nice mild soap and water, get any sort of dirt and ick off it, and not take that tarnish off. So just wanted to mention that as well. Beautiful little stones in there. Really pretty pair. And where's the other one? Oh, I dropped it. That's what I dropped on the floor earlier. Let me retrieve that. Silly girl. All right, here we go. So I will touch this one up too. And these are gorgeous. If anybody is interested in this pair, I love them. They're available for $10. Beautiful stones on there. Very pretty. I love that dusty purple. Truly do. Alrighty. So next up, I believe I have another. Where is it? Where'd you go? Sorry about that, folks. Here we go. Here's another coral piece. This is another at-home repair. Look at the adhesive on that. And that is just a mess. This is nothing that anybody would want to wear. So what I'm going to do, there's the coral. But I imagine these could be beautiful. This is probably very counter-indicated, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. And what's going to happen, more than likely, is that all of the stones are going to come out, the pearl is going to come out, and the enameling may come off. So we have a couple of solutions to that should that happen. But let me pop this in there and see what goes on. All right, so that's going in the cleaner. And let's move on to another piece. All right, here we have a little enameled daisy piece. This one probably was not the most expensive piece of jewelry when purchased. I don't see any maker's mark on there. A lot of the gold tone is coming off the back of it. It is really sweet, though. I do love that little daisy. I'm going to chuck this one in the cleaner as well and see what happens, because it's not really anything. I don't think that, you know, right now is anything that's saleable. So I'm going to throw that one in. All right. Next up, we have these absolutely stunning glass and rhinestone earrings. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Now, the easiest way to clean this one, because we don't want to get water behind those rhinestones, I'm hitting it again. I'm going to take a different sable brush, and I'm just going to kind of mop in there. Go in between, get any of the old dirt and yucks off there. And you've seen me do this one. This is not a new process for you to see. These are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to hit the tops now that I've got less water on there. And let's take a look at the back. The back is not in bad shape. And silver tone is not real bright and shiny, but let's give that a little hit with the brush and the solution, see what comes of that. I'm gonna give the back a good mopping, because that's glass that can certainly take anything we're gonna throw at it. Okay, and grab a paper towel, give it a little dry. Now the backs on here are not super shiny, they're not super pretty, but what I would say to that is, who cares? Because look at that. This is so pretty, so pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that up. I'm gonna grab another tool that I often use, is this little sponge tipped thing, and this can get in there and get some of that moisture out for us, so that we can, because that's kind of a hard place to get in with a paper towel. So I'm just going in here with the little sponge tip, and look at the dirt it's taken off there too. And so even it's required just a little bit more rubbing on that. How about that? You know, you got to take these things as they come. You know, you may think that one process is going to work, and it may just well. And then, you know, sometimes you got to go a step further. And I think on this one, what I'm going to do is grab myself a Clorox wipe, just to make certain that we've gotten all the dirt off that, especially on the back. So I'm going to wipe the back really well, and I don't see anything coming off on the wipe. So, and of course, again, glass, it's not good. Ooh, see? Wow, you got to be careful of those prongs, folks. That's why I cringe sometimes with the toothbrush. I see people do it, and they get through it just fine, but I know the first time I tried that, I would try that. It would probably not be a good end. Another thing I sometimes do is I'll take a paper towel and one of these toothpicks, and I'll just kind of shove the paper towel in there with the toothpick, and it gives you a clean surface every time, but you know, you can get a little bit more pinpoint precise by doing this. See how I'm going in there, giving it a little shine? Look how shiny that is. Oof, baby, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that beautiful thing. It looks like a happy, sparkly poker chip. All those rhinestones are in great shape. God, that's beautiful. And let's take a look at the other one. Meh. Oh no. Oh no, it's broken. Huh. Well, it's just a tiny little imperfection there. So what I'm gonna do with these, because it's not sharp, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop a little resin in there. And I'll bring these back and show you how it comes out, but I'm gonna put a drop of UV resin in there just to close that up so nobody gets hurt. Because I totally think these are gorgeous. I think these should be worn, even with that chip on the back. God, those are beautiful. Look how pretty those are. Okay, so coming back with those. All right, what do we have up next here? Alrighty, these are pretty thermoset. And here we have another home repair, I'm sure. Yeah, look at that mess. Look at that mess. I don't know that these are going to be salvageable, because there is super glue on the face. See that? I saw these the other day, I'm being honest. Super glue on the face of those. That may come off. You would need to use something. I don't think alcohol would take that off. Maybe nail polish remover, but if you did do that, it would probably mess up the face. You know what? What the heck? Why don't we give it a shot, right? Let's see. We'll do an experiment together and see thermoset versus acetone. This is 100% acetone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit in the bottom of this cup. Say a little prayer for me that I don't knock the entire bottle over, because it's without this little lid on it. And I'm a menace sometimes. So I'm going to dip this in. And let's go with that and see if it, first of all, if it takes it off, and second of all, if it's gonna damage the thermoset. Because what a shame, right? All right, so I've got a little bit of that on there. I'm gonna scratch it with the other end. Let's put a little more on. Let that solvent work. And we'll see. Can you put acetone on thermoset? because thermoset is indeed plastic, and acetone is plastic. So it is breaking down that super glue, I will tell you that much. But I'm a little afraid as to what it's done to the thermoset. But hey, better I try it than you guys, right? And I do see that it has damaged it somewhat. I'm going to give that a dip and wipe it off just to make sure that's not some sort of residue. Yep, and it has damaged it. So that is not a solution that we can use. So now we know that, right? Hey, we gave it a shot, right? You don't try, you don't know. And you know what else were we going to do with this? Nothing. And let me just see it. I just want to give it one more wipe and make sure that that's not, you know, the super glue that was kind of put into a solution and then deposited again, because acetone really evaporates rather quickly. And yeah, note that is the top of it has been damaged from the acetone. So now we know that you cannot use acetone on thermoset. But again, these were useless because they had all that glue on the top. I'm going to pour the acetone back into the bottle, replace the cap before I get it all over myself. And I'll put these to the side for another purpose. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the ultrasonic cleaner probably for probably about 10 minutes and see what it does with those pieces. I'll come back and we'll take a peek at them. All righty, see you in a minute. Okay, so I've grabbed the basket from the ultrasonic cleaner, and let's see how we're doing so far. I'm going to pull all these out. Wow, I can't believe that didn't fall apart, but you can see how the coating is starting to come off those pearls. Oh, that whole piece came off like it did on the other one. Yeah, ooh, oogie, oogie, oogie. That is just disgusting. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry you had to witness that. Let's take all these out and just give them a quick look. We may have to actually put them back in. I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see where we are so far. That was about 10 minutes in the cleaner, and that one is stuck. Let go. Let go, little earring. There we go. Be free. Be free. All right. So let's peek so far. I think probably these are going to be good to go. Yeah, these are great. So this pair, another Avon pair. We had the similar pair in the last video that were posts for pierced ears, and these are clip-ons. Same pair. And I believe I offered those for $5, so I'm going to do the same with these. If you do want to order the 2 or 3 things that I'm offering today, all you need to do is email me at amberfieldmousejewelry@gmail.com and send me a screenshot of the piece, price I gave you, and I'll invoice you and get you the pieces. My God, my fingernails are just disgusting. I didn't go to any special thing because we're going to be cleaning jewelry, so mea culpa. Beautiful little earrings. Came out perfectly in the ultrasonic cleaner. Look at those pretties. And there those are for you. Okay. We'll pop those on the side. Let's just evaluate these. All right, so we did lose a pearl. I knew that was going to happen. We have that nasty, and the enameling, is going to come off here, which is okay. Let's see if I can get the rest of these pearls to come out. Let's see what kind of condition they're in. We may be able to reuse them. Stranger things have happened yet. Oh gosh, that one is fine. And let me dig this one out. Let me grab a tweezer. Where are my tweezers? Sorry about the great deal of noise there, folks. There's so many tools over here in this drawer. You know, I need tools from time to time. All right, we got a Sharpie, we got a screwdriver. We don't need a screwdriver. There we go. My favorite tweezers on the planet. All right, let's grab this one out if it's going to come out for us. There we go. All right, let me take a... These are perfect. That's amazing. That is amazing. And I bet the other one is in the bottom of the cleaner. Look at that. Oh, I have something I got in there. Good Lord, forgive me. But these are in great shape. I have a little cup over here that I keep all my little bits and bobs in. So I'm going to put that in there. And I just got a text from Jeff. So it looks like it's time for me to end this for tonight. And I'll come back to it. But that's coming out. And we have lost the back on there. So this is what happens when you put a rhinestone in the cleaner. But this could still be used for something. So we're going to put that in the cup. And then are these coming out too? Nope, those are not ready. And also look at the enameling. I'll just finish up this little bit in this segment, and then I'll head on downstairs, and I'll come back to you guys in the morning, because it is Saturday night and it's not time to fight. It's time to go have fun with my love of my life there. Okay. Yep, so yep, there we go. It's coming up. I don't want to scratch that metal is one thing I don't want to do. But what will happen eventually is that all of that enameling will come off. So we have a couple of choices with this, which I'll go over with you later. Alrighty, these look like, I don't know if those are going to be scratched or not. We're going to have to clean those a little bit more to see if that is glue on there. And sometimes the AB coating is inside when these are crystal, and sometimes it's a coating. So I can't quite tell yet. If it's inside, then those are savable. If it's a coating, then they're going to get pitched in the garbage. And that is some heinous glue. This is a mess, absolute mess. You can see in here that it looks like almost like they used Elmer's. Just not a great choice, folks. I like to use Gorilla Glue, the gel, and because you don't need much of it, you don't need an activator. Some Gorilla Glues you do need to add water. The one that I use, you do not. Here goes my phone from my Jeffrey. And anyway, so I'll clean that out. And the rest of these we'll get back to tomorrow. Let's just take a look at this one, see if these are ready to pop out yet. Yep. All right, so there we go. So this one I'm going to pop out, and that glue will come right off, because these thermoset pieces are strong. When it comes to water, not so much with the acetone, of course. But these I will save, so that if I find a piece ever in the future, or if anybody else needs these, they're available. So I'm going to pop those out, and the rest of it will go in the bin. So there, those are out. All right, so I'll come back to you again. I'm going to take a little break, which is going to be actually overnight, and then we'll get back to this video. All right, take care. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so I put the jewelry back into the cleaner because it did need more time in there. And let's take a look at a couple of the pieces. There were actually some others that I threw in as well that had not initially been in for the first trip. Here, I'm hitting the phone again. Apologies. This one came out really nicely. And I apologize for my voice. It's the next day, as I mentioned just before I ended the last clip, that I needed to stop for the night and begin. I apologize for my voice. This cold is getting the better of me. And I'm just going in this one. This one had a ton of verdigris and dirt on it, and it cleaned up beautifully. I'm going to need to get something a little bit stronger for the back of that one, but you can see how nicely these cleaned up. Nope, that's not the right thing. That's this is part of the that pearl monstrosity, and you can see the adhesive is coming off nice for us now. This machine is really great for getting all that stuff loose. Let me find the other. Here we go. There's the other one of these. These probably were not the most expensive things when they were sold initially, but they're really, you know, they're nice looking to vintage. It'll be cute for Christmas. Let me just grab something because I want to clean the flip backs here. I needed something just a little bit stronger than just that Dawn in water to get whatever that is off them. So these came out nice. A little bit of discoloration there, but they're, you know, they're old. The decorative piece is in fantastic condition. And all of that verdigris came off, which is great. Sometimes it's very stubborn, and sometimes it's already, you know, damaged the piece to the point where it's nothing that anybody's going to want. So this pair is all now nice and clean and restored. And if anybody would like this little classic piece, you can have these for $5. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. I'm going to actually just dump this out so that we don't have to pick through. All right, these were some metal ones that I really don't think they're going to be savable. They're okay, but the coating is kind of strange. And if you look here, that bead ball has been turned in such a fashion that there's a hole there, and it's not it's not allowing me to turn it back. So now these, they did come clean in the cleaners. You can see that. We of course want to give them a dry. Let me grab I had an extra paper towel out, but I don't know what to do with it. Dry them off, and we give them a hit with the air. I noticed, I watched the video back just to see, you know, what I'd recorded before I started here, and I noticed I'm using the compressed air and speaking at the same time. My apologies for that. You couldn't hear a word I said. What I was explaining during that is that using the compressed air will get water out of little spots in here so that you're not going to have a rust issue. So I'm going to do that with this as well. I don't know if you saw some of that water fly, but these are hollow, so, you know, these will definitely have issues with that if you don't take care of it. And this one, being that it's sealed up, so we can't really tell if everything's coming out, I would take an additional step with these and make sure that, you know, I put them on something bottom side up to dry. These I really don't think are in the most fantastic shape, so if anybody does want these, you can have them for $2. I mean, the coating is all there, the silver tone is there. It's just that issue that's a little bothersome to me. So we'll put those over to the side because we've taken care of those. These enameled numbers are all that enameling's coming off, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That gives us the ability to restore these, which I will show you that process here in a minute with the that coral piece, so you can see the enamel on my finger there. Let me get rid of that. And I'm going to further soak these in the cleaner, so let me just pop the basket back in and let that work on that enamel to get that off. These pieces are, I'm not going to put you through me taking all the glue off this because it's not necessary and doubt very enjoyable for you. As I had mentioned before, I want to check and see if that coating was on the interior, the exterior of these beads, and it kind of looks like it's on the outside. I don't know what kind of shape it's going to be in, but if these were still in good shape, I would probably clip those so that somebody could use those vintage crystals. But like I said, I'm not going to put you through looking with me to see that one. And these look like they're savable as well, so those a crafter might find useful. I'm going to pop all that over on the side just for the moment. Let's go back to these. We had looked at these yesterday, and still quite a bit of verdigris on these, and these cups are still not letting go of those beads. I don't know what they use. They might have used something that's not water soluble to get those out, but you do see where the holes they had filled in with other things are, that material has come free in the process. So these, I really don't think these are going to be usable in any fashion. The coloration is not good underneath that original gold tone coating, and I don't know how easily these are going to come out. So these, you know, we gave it a shot to see if there was anything useful. There's really not, so those I'll just put on the side too. I don't think those are going to be anything fantastic. Let's take a peek at these. Oh, and these were, oh, they got hooked together after the fact. Okay. These are another little pretty enamel number. Now, sometimes with these enamel pieces, I do want to mention to you, do check them before you put them in an ultrasonic cleaner. It's not necessary to do so. You can just clean them with a gentle solution in a little cup. But sometimes that, if the enamel's lifted on the side, it will continue to lift that up if you put them in the cleaner for a prolonged period of time. So I just want to make sure that you're, oh, see? Case in point, that popped right off. Huh? All right. Well, I can pop it right back on, but I don't think I'm going to bother in this scenario because, wow, that's not an enamel. Well, now we get to see what this is. That's kind of cool. Look at that. It's like a little, very thick plastic sticker that was on there. That's pretty cool. And they look kind of neat by themselves, but I'll put this over now in my pile of stuff to play with, since I did take that piece off. And see, that's what I'm talking about. I will show you what not to do with this in some circumstances as well. That's pretty cool though, isn't it? I wonder if that was resin or if it was actually manufactured as one piece and adhered. It's got texture, so I think it was probably in liquid form and put on here. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, we're going to put these over on the side as well. All right, these metal ones, these are the ones that needed a good clean. And they look like they see the residue that's there. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to get that brush, that scrubber that I had mentioned. I use a similar one for my acrylic painting. It's very strong bristles on there. And this metal can take that no problem. I'm just going to go in here and try to get the rest of that off. There's probably some sort of coating on the metal. And that is starting to lift off for us here. So I would just continue with that. I don't want to bore you with the process that I can just explain real quick to you and finish as she keeps going. And if I can get it off, I'm just going to finish it up here so that you guys can see them. It doesn't look like it's going to take much time at all. Okay. Let me give them a wipe over here and see what we got. Oh, that may need a little bit more scrubbing. Yeah, there was something embedded into the ribbing there that's giving me a time coming off. So let me just see if this wipe will get it off real quick. Sometimes you got to do a combination of different things to get something clean. Try one. If it's not working, try another. Sometimes the combination of the two is the ticket. And sometimes it's just real easy and it cooperates quickly and you're done. So I'll work on these more on the side. As I said, I don't want to bore you. This was that piece that had the little, what you call them? Oh, Lord. Sorry, I have cold brain. The little leaf shapes that are made out of that plastic that it's not coming to my mind right now. Thermoset, geez. Okay, so this one, we put it back in and looks like we did lose the other. I don't think we lost that center stone yesterday. Boy, these rhinestones are persistent, aren't they? I'm going to have to actually just kind of pop those out. Oop, there goes one. And let's get this one too. So we have lost the pearls on here. We lost the enamel coating, and we're now about to lose these stones if I can get them out. There we go. So these are out. I'm going to put these over in a little cup so that if we ever need anything like that, we have them, waste not, want not. And then what I'll do is I will take the remainder of this off. Should come off nice and easy for me here. Should. No, I took them out of the cleaner and let them sit for a bit, and usually see the pieces are coming right off. This is fun for me. I enjoy picking this stuff off. I know it's silly, but I don't know. Do you guys enjoy this little stuff like this too? Pulling paint off things. I love peeling paint. It's bizarre. I think there are two camps of people out there. People who like that stuff and people who just really don't get us. So let me know in the comments which camp you fall into with that. All right, so I'm going to put this on the side. I'm not going to bother you with the whole thing, but I do want to mention, my apologies, a couple of solutions that we can do. So now we are at the restoration point on here. Obviously, it's no longer something that can be cleaned, but it can be restored. If I do restore something like that and sell it, I let people know that it's a restoration and that, it's not original, because you always want to be honest with that. So this one you'll be able to see here that it's all the way down to the gold tone. And that gold tone is in fantastic condition. It's been protected by the enamel coating there. So one thing that we could do is we could reinstall either the same, well, we can't use the rhinestones, of course, because they've lost their foil back, but we could reinstall some pearls and rhinestones in the gold tone, and it would be lovely as that, because that gold tone, as you can see, is in, like I said, it's fantastic condition. Or what we can do is we can go to a total restoration project where we can turn it back into what it was when it was brand new. And I have started on this one piece, and I've stopped because I want to share with you the process, kind of. So you'll see on here I have painted some enamel paint on the top of the center flower and one of the side flowers, just on the first coat primarily. And what I use is something called Tester's paint. It's a model paint. People use this for, you know, model airplanes, railroads, things of that nature. It comes in every color in the rainbow. I have metallic colors in white presently. I'm looking to get some other colors because I've been enjoying doing this. So what you can do with this, it's a very strong paint. It has a very professional finish. It's not going to be just like a, you know, your acrylic paint that you get in the little bottles at Walmart or the Dollar Tree, you know, the little, what are the brand names on those? You know what I'm talking about. So it's a good, strong paint. So when you paint on here, it's going to have a nice hard finish. And you also have the option, if you should so choose, to put a sealer on it. So I did begin the process, and I painted these, the center and the side flower there, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is, just while you're on here with me, I'm going to continue and paint the rest of these and give this a good shake. If you do buy this, I have a fun little tip for you. What I do is I put a couple of these BB gun pellets inside. You can see if I was showing you the right side. See the little copper pellets? Those are for a BB gun. I just put a couple in here, and then when you shake it, it makes that process go much quicker, because you do want to make sure that everything is mixed up well in there and that you're not painting with a diluted paint or chunky paint. That's never good. So with these, I found that it's really best just kind of get some paint on the brush, tap it to the flower petals, and let it take whatever paint it wants. So I'm not really brushing the paint on here so much as I am just kind of applying it, just by touching and letting it grab the paint that it wants. You know, you do have to cajole it in some spots, like under here. I'm doing a little bit more brushing because it's hard to see where I'm going. And then I gotta move my paintbrush away from the camera, the phone rather. So I'm knocking it. Now this may require more than one coat, but that gives us the base coat there. Let me fill in that little spot I missed. Okay, so you can see that we have the beginning of restoring this earring, and I find this very enjoyable. These may not be the most valuable pair of earrings in the world, but I enjoy the process, so for me it's kind of fun to see if I can bring it back to what it was. So there we have the beginnings of that, and let me just go ahead and do another flower since I have the paint out. I won't make you sit here and watch it all. Another thing that you do want to do, and you'll see I have this attached to a foam block. You want to make sure that you are not holding this earring in your hand, because you want it to be steady, and you want to be able to set it up after you're done so that it can dry and not have, you know, it pool on one side more thickly than it should, or the other. You want it to be, you know, level. So there, I painted the other one. You see the little bit of that paint went underneath. I'll just pick that up and let it not be attached. So what I'll do is I'll continue on with this, paint the rest of this flower, and then we'll come back and we'll reinstall the rhinestones on here and the pearls and see what it looks like. All right, be back in a few. Okay, so I'm back, and I did finish painting the second coat onto the earring. I have the one that's just had the enameling stripped off it on the side here, because I do want to show you, you know, the options of what it would look like if you wanted to do it just with the gold tone, or, you know, give you ideas for whatever piece that you're working with. I did seal this with a clear high gloss acrylic sealer. This is a Mod Podge brand. They come in several different brands of sealers. Pay attention to the finish though. This is a high gloss, which is what we want for this earring. We want it to be shiny and pretty. It comes in matte and it comes in satin as well. So just make sure, you know, you're using the right finish on there. I did go ahead and pull out my different types of rhinestones and whatnot. I have a bunch here that I've scavenged from things and selected some rhinestones that are the appropriate size for the piece. I have the ones that the foil back came off so that I could make comparison there so that I get the right right pieces in there, because you know, you want to make it as close to the original as you possibly can. The pearls were in fine shape. I do have replacement pearls, but I didn't have to go into those. They come in several colors, by the way. If you ever ordered these, there's so much fun stuff that you can get. You can I try to purchase vintage so that, you know, I know that they're restored properly. And of course, I always pick the stones out of other pieces that, you know, something's wrong with, and just harvest those. What I do often is I will put a little piece of tape on here, and I put this little, I drew a ring around it so that you could see where the tape was. I'll just put a little bit down there so that I don't have to keep getting back and forth into the container. Another tool that I find really useful is this crayon. I'm not sure what this came with. It's just wax, but it makes it really easy to pick up the stones. So let's go ahead, and I just want to show you real quick what it would look like if we did this piece. And the gold tone, I am not going to glue them in because, what? I thought I got it, I didn't. I'm not going to glue them in because I'm going to, you know, I've already painted one white. So, and this makes it really easy just to pop the, if you can keep them on the thing. It's much easier than trying to pick them up with your hand, and it's not gonna, let's press it in there. There we go. I picked up a little stone, lucky me. And then the rhinestones would go in the same fashion. And, you know, it's your piece, so you could always, you know, use different color rhinestones if you chose to make it your own. Okay, got this guy. I just wanted to show you what it would look like if you wanted to do it in the gold tone instead of painting the enameling on there. And of course, you'll have that choice depending on what the, whoa, did you see that? I had it in there and I flicked it right out. Luckily, it flicked out in a spot that I was able to find it quickly. That's not always the case. Was I out of camera then? I'm so sorry. I'm popping those stones in, and I don't believe that you saw it. Now, these have not been glued, because like I said, we've already done one in white, so I don't want to do that. But beautiful piece, you know, if we chose to do it with just the gold tone, that's always an option, depending on, like I said, how your metal fared throughout the years. So let me take this out. I'm going to use these pieces in the painted one, so I want to dump them so I can get them. And let me make sure this is in the correct spot this time. I'm so sorry about that. To apply the glue, I don't typically squirt it directly from the container onto the piece, because you can get a lot more than you want, and you want to use the right amount of adhesive. Of course, you want enough so that it sticks, but you don't want to overwhelm the piece like we saw happened with the original piece. Somebody had put way too much adhesive on. And this is the silliest little thing. Jeff bought this for me. It's a toothpick holder. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's cute, but it's really handy. So I'm just going to grab a toothpick, grab some of this glue, and I'm just going to apply some down at the bottom of the cup. Yep, let me move so you can see what I'm doing. Right at the bottom there. And then I'm going to grab that center stone, if it's going to cooperate with me. Come on, flip over. Flip over. I would say a lot of the time that I spend doing these things is fighting with rhinestones, because they think they're in charge sometimes. There we go. All right, so see how easy it was just to pick it up with that once I got a hold of it and tamp it in. It gave me the ability to place it in there, make sure it's seated properly. And when you do that, make sure the stone is in there right so that you don't have it tilted. That's never a good look. Alrighty, and we're just going to continue to add the stones back into the piece. I'm just putting a little bit down on the bottom of the cup there. I'm going to grab one of these pearls. Put it down in. Okay, easy, easy. And we'll get the rest of those in. I am definitely taking care not to put too much adhesive in there. Trying not to get it on the sides, because we don't want a repeat of what we found. And these alternate. It's pearl, diamond, pearl, well, not diamond, but you know what I'm saying. All right, and you see what I just did right there? Got to take care of that immediately. We don't want that problem. I just got adhesive right there. I'm going to take it right off. Oop. And look what it did. It activated that paint. So I'm going to have to go back in and touch that up. So these things do happen. I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm just going to fix it and move on from there. If I can get this pearl. Okay. We got the pearl in the cup. Just that little tiny bit of damage there. I'll fix that for sure. Probably gonna have to remove the paint from that whole leaf. See where it is right there? That's where the adhesive hit it, and I moved the paint back out, but I'm just gonna kind of put it down a little bit so that it gives us a nice appearance for the moment, and then I'll peel that off and repaint it. Nobody will ever know that it happened except you and I. Okay, and let's see how our glue is doing. It's still good. This is a fast-acting glue, so that's why I only put a little bit out, because it doesn't stay for long, because it is fast-acting. All right, let's flip this one. Okay, and I put the glue in that one, I think. Yep. There we go. Add a little glue to the next one. Where is that third stone? Did I lose it? I think I might. I might have to go grab another one. I lose them all the time. It's crazy. And then I'll find them, and I'll have a little cup on top of my table here that I just put strays in. And then I'll go back and put them where they belong later. And again, this isn't a foolproof method. They do fall off from time to time, but the best one I've found so far. Makes it easy to pick these up. All right, and where are you, Mr. Rhinestone? Where'd you go? Oh, here you are. Okay. That one. And just one more little dab of glue. And if I've gone into way too much detail for most of you, I apologize. I just kind of wanted to bring you through the project to completion, so you could see the restored piece. Alrighty. Turn that one around. I'm going to get a different tool that's got a pointier end, because that one's wanting to flip up on me. We're not going to let it. There we go. All right. And there is our restored earring in all its former glory, with that little bit of a boo-boo there on that one petal that I will fix. That'll be a quick, easy fix, no problem at all. So I just wanted to share that with you so you could see that you do have some options if you ever want to get into, you know, restoration of vintage pieces of jewelry. I really enjoy it. I have a great time doing it. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this and learned some things. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to get in touch. I've also showed you a couple of things that you shouldn't do here. You know, one intentionally, one not quite so intentionally, but I tend to like to find out what happens when I do, you know, let's say what happens when I put this piece in the cleaner, how's it going to fare, or, you know, what have you. So anyway, thank you again for joining me. I'd like to invite you to like and subscribe to the channel again, and I will see you next time at the buffet. Bye-bye. Really? Come on, guys. You need to jump down. It's hot. Go on, jump down. It's too hot up there. Look, you're right next to the grill. Right next to it. Ah, no, don't jump that way. Jump the other way. Don't jump on me, you little fucker. Oh, it's too hot. Jump off, honey. Jump off. Oh, God, where's Jeffrey? Look at your daddy. He needs to get off.